The US President Donald Trump severely lashed out at his counterparts Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky. Donald Trump called out leaders of the warring parties amid a deadlock in the ceasefire negotiations. Trump said that he was pissed off and was very angry with Putin, who has been putting forth new conditions before finalizing a truce with Ukraine. Now, he said that it was not right on Russia's part to question the credibility of Zelensky as a negotiating partner.
I think he'll be okay, but if he isn't, I was disappointed in a certain way. Some of the things that were said over the last day or two having to do with Zelensky, because when he considers Zelensky not credible, he's supposed to be making a deal with him, whether you like him or you don't like him. So I wasn't happy with that.
The US president also threatened Putin with secondary tariffs on Russia. Trump said if Putin did not agree to a ceasefire, then a 50% tariff could be enforced on countries buying Russian oil. He added that he will also be speaking to Putin later this week.
But I think he's going to be good. And I certainly wouldn't want to put secondary tariffs on Russia, but if they were put on, it would not be very good for them.
Trump's recent comments mark a shift in tone toward Russia and its leader. The ties between Trump and Putin were seen as getting better amid the ongoing ceasefire negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. This is also the first time that the US has seriously threatened Russia with consequences. This comes after Putin rejected a joint US-Ukraine plan for a 30-day ceasefire. The Russian leader also suggested last week that Zelensky must be removed from office as a part of the peace process. Following his warning to the Russian president, the US president also turned his ire toward Ukraine. He said that President Zelensky was trying to back out of the rare earth deal. Trump added that Zelensky will face major problems if he is actually considering to do so. If approved, this deal would grant the US access to Ukraine's vast reserves of critical minerals.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he wants to make a deal. And I think Zelensky, by the way, I see he's trying to back out of the rare earth deal. And if he does that, he's got some problems, big problems.
Meanwhile, Trump also added that Ukrainian leader was seeking NATO membership to strengthen his country, but reiterated that Ukraine will never be able to become a member of NATO.
We made a deal on rare earth, and now he's saying, well, you know, I want to renegotiate the deal. He wants to be a member of NATO. Well, he was never going to be a member of NATO. He understands that. So if he's looking to renegotiate the deal, he's got big problems.
Since taking office, US President Trump has been pushing for a speedy end to the more than 3-year war between Russia and Ukraine. He earlier also stated that only he could stop the devastating war and also restore peace in both countries. Even while campaigning last year for the US presidential polls, Trump said that if he came to power, he would stop the war within 24 hours. However, Trump has not been successful in achieving a ceasefire till now. Both the nations have been putting new conditions that have been acting as obstacles to the ceasefire. Last week, Russia and Ukraine had agreed to halt attacks on the Black Sea and also on each other's energy facilities. But the agreement could not be finalized due to Russia's demand to remove certain sanctions imposed against it. Meanwhile, tensions continue to grip Ukraine's Dnipro city following a mass Russian drone attack in which 4 people were killed and another 21 were injured last week. Ukrainian President Zelensky called for a strong response by America, Europe, and all of those who seek peace. He also spoke about the ceasefire negotiations with Russia and said that Moscow was continuing to look for excuses to drag the war further. Zelensky added that Putin is playing the same game he has since 2014 and that it could be dangerous for everyone. So far, Trump cozying up to Putin had European leaders worried. But the US president's latest comments appear to be a departure from that dynamic. He has threatened both Russia and Ukraine. Now, which way will Trump turn? His war strategy remains to be seen. We will continue to track all of the details on Firstpost Spotlight.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.